Welcome back to EUREKA Farms for episode 14 with me, Mr. Sealy P. Well, what has happened here on EUREKA Farms since last I saw you? Well, as you can see, we've got a third harvester. We've got different headers. I had a bit of a change around. The rain still hasn't come, so I took on another contract. I finished a contract on field 1, took on a contract on field 12 for canola. This header here is the tool height control for harvesters header. That's the one I use if I'm going to be doing the harvest or joining in with the harvest. Because this was a big field, I started going. So what I decided to do to colour coordinate, because I thought it'd make life easier, I got 3 harvester headers in red. These are standard headers, so I can set a worker off. I haven't got to worry, they can just get on with it in the background. If I then want to grab one of the harvesters to jump in and help with the harvest, I'll grab that header and I'll use that, which is fantastic. So we've spent a big chunk of the money we've been kind of raising, earning. What we need to do now is collect up all the harvest, go and sell it. I've got bunker silo to compact, we've got seeding of grass to do. Now, this lorry, I became aware of it a couple of times when I was editing and then completely forgot between episodes. So what I ended up doing as I was driving was kind of pulling away from it so it wasn't too loud, but I understood it really still was very loud. But here's the thing, it's something I remembered someone saying, or when I read the description of it, that I could do this. Went into configurations options and couldn't find it under configurations. If I open up my menu, up at the top it says here engine brakes. So the Jake brakes, you can turn them on or off. So I've turned them off. Now it's still got a bit of a throaty engine sound, but that's a bit more palatable. The great thing is now when I take my foot off the gas, you don't get that really loud engine braking sound, the Jake brake. So that should make life a little bit easier when I'm using this. I didn't want to change the vehicle because I love it. The Roadrunner Plus by Mantrid is a fantastic mod. I absolutely love it. We've got quite a lot to unload from here, so we'll do this first. I've got to remember, where's this going to? No, that was the one I wanted. We are active. Transport company, that's to the south. Canola, we'll check the price because I want to make sure. Canola at the transport company is going for 1243. Yeah, that's the best price. So we'll just unload it all there and we'll set it all there and we'll get a good price for it. I have leased the NMC dozer, the super dozer. I've also put, I'm trying to think, depends what the thumbnail is. I've also put the 3-point link attached on the back of it and the Holoras Stego. This is part of the map here on EUREKA Farms. We've got the standard Stego there, but included with the map is the Stego 485 high compaction. Now I used that earlier on in the series and I didn't notice a huge difference. I mean, it did make a difference, obviously. Someone suggested put one on the front and one on the rear, which I could have done, I suppose. I've got a lot more canola here than I thought I had. As I was doing it, I was thinking each pass didn't seem to be actually yielding very much, but we're doing all right. So yeah, grass field will need to be done before the rain comes. I don't think I've got any more harvest contracts, have I? Or I might have one. Yeah, harvesting field 11, which I don't know if I'll do. Then a few cultivating. See, what also pays out really well is the fertilising contracts, as you've already seen. I'm not going to be putting up on the screen every time I do them now. I was putting up kind of collages of all my contracts. I suppose the easiest way to look at that as well now is to go into that menu. Missions completed 53, and that's since I did the update on the farm. So yeah, we're quite a few contracts in, which again is no problem whatsoever. Right, is that one done? Yeah, 3 harvesters. I'm pleased I've done that. I may even, again, because the whole point with this is because we're doing big fields, big work, big contracts, big machinery, large capacity, faster farming. We're earning money very quickly, and it's much easier to earn money quicker, and we can go much bigger scale with the farms than I've ever done before. I've done the 3 harvester farms before. Not as soon, I don't think. I'm probably going to buy a second mower because we're going to be doing a lot of grass work, so I might get a second mower. I definitely want to get a second seeder I mean, that seed is massive, so I don't really have much of a problem covering the ground, but having 2 running, again, it just speeds up the whole process. The whole thing is becoming more efficient. The quicker I do it, the more jobs I can get in during the day, the more fields I can get done. I do want to look at buying another field myself, a large field. That way, fair enough, yeah, you're getting contract work, but I probably could have got with a smaller trailer, if that's all right. Transport company. But then, yeah, rather than getting the excess and getting the contract money, I would be then getting all of the money for whatever I did. So if I did like something like field 12, I mean, that's really expensive, but so that'll be another step forward. We'll get another big field. I think what I need to, oh, you know what I need to do as well? Let's sell some milk. I haven't sold any milk yet. That's so much better now, isn't it? Yep. So much better. Apologies to for anybody for the last couple of days with regard to mod reviews. Thursday and Friday I was not feeling at all well, not feeling at all myself. I did get the Greenlands map tour up and I did my crossover video, the crossover from 6 Ashes to Rasvet. That took quite a lot of time to set up and editing, but I just really wasn't feeling great, and I did the videos, and I know it sounds ridiculous, I'm playing a game, I'm recording, I'm editing and stuff. I felt exhausted mentally and just absolutely shot to bits, as my brother, one of his favourite phrases. I was shot to bits. So yeah, I didn't do one Thursday or Friday. Hopefully normal service will be resumed on Monday. That's the plan. I've taken to unloading into the trailer. I didn't do it originally, I was just bringing the harvesters over because the harvester's got a massive capacity, but it takes a lot longer to empty out of the harvester than it does to the trailer. From the trailer, whoosh, it's all out, done. There we go, we're earning money off the excess. A lot of money off the excess. Nice. An extra 139 grand on top of the contract. Let's take the contract as well. Oh, thank you very much. I am worried about the rain coming. I think I'll take on the cultivating one. Field 4 is massive though. It's not a lot of money considering the size of field 4. But I suppose I can just leave a cultivator running in the background. You know what? I might leave it for the time being. Next up then, I'm going to get the seeding done. I'm going to use the lorry again because I can do a bit of fast seeding. We'll get the grass in the ground on field 9. All around the edges was limed in the last episode, so that's been done. Or after the end of the last episode, I started doing it, didn't I? Also, did I end ploughing? I can't remember what I ended up doing at the end of the last episode. But it has been limed all around the edge now. It's been ploughed out. It's good to go. I also had a comment from someone saying that I keep saying about how big the fields are on this map. Then I buy a field and plough it even bigger. That's only for the grass. I haven't done that for any of that. Did I do it for the, no, the other one I haven't. Field 7 and Field 3 have stayed as they are. I've only ploughed up the grass because I still, possibly my misconception, I still believe that a field of grass that you've planted that you can then add fertiliser to yields better than the grass that just comes stand on the map. Again, like I say, I could be wrong, which means I could really plough up all of that and replant, and that may be a job for another day. I don't even start doing that. So we'll take this back. The harvesters are all going to need a bit of TLC. As it stands at the moment, each of those red headers are leased. I haven't bought them. We'll get to a point. They're only 89,000 for a header. So I think what we'll do is, with a couple more contracts, when we hit 1 million again, I will replace those with actual headers, rather than pretend headers. Rather than leasing them, I'll buy them, because there is an hourly rate implication, and there's also a midnight you then pay again to lease. So it just makes more sense, I suppose, if I. I buy them. I will buy them. One of those days. Poplars still aren't ready. I'm looking forward to using the NMC. I used it on Stone Valley. I don't know if a combination between the two is going to be what I need. It's that trailer seeder thing again. That's it. Just need to get the wheels to swing round and then we're fine. There we go. Look up to that. 27,750 litres. Let's get this grassed. Oh yeah, the milk. How much milk have we got? We should have a fair bit on hand. 159,000 litres sitting there and 15,000 there. That's a few runs backwards and forwards. That'd be 2 and a bit. With oh yeah, I haven't actually used the new. I bought the new tanker, the 67,000 litre one, the TLX tanker, and haven't used it. So yeah, we'll get to use that. We'll get to use that in anger for the first time. So what I'll do is get this seeded, and then we'll get it fertilised. What do I need to do? Mine's gone completely blank. Switch to that and open that up. That's on that. That's definitely on grass. Get this done. I'm really enjoying that kind of, like I said in the last episode, I've kind of slotted into a let's play routine, although it is using larger capacity and strange bonkers machinery, but you still then, once that kind of initial wow factor has gone, you do then realise you can actually do big farming. You know, you can do that normally. I know you can. Double click that. We should be able to go. Yeah, I know you can do that normally. Of course you can. You can go as big as you want to. But I think because of the increased capacities and the speed and the fact you can become a lot more efficient with what you're doing, it does make a huge difference. And there's still that element of fun. I was intending for today, depends when this posts, again, I did it again. People commenting the other day as well saying, right, lower that down. Double click. Just turn it off. Don't adjust that. I don't know why I kept doing that before. I've lost my thread now. Yeah, I was intending to get the episode 2 of Rasvet up, but the prep work I need to do, because I did what I needed to initially to do the transfer over, but hadn't really prepped any further for what I was doing on the map. So I need to do a bit more prep work on that. And it's a bit time consuming. Again, it's that thing of console, being on console. I have to kind of, yeah. It's a little bit more complicated to prep. My choice again. Explaining, not complaining. On my last episode when I talked about the TNT situation, I suppose you get it with everything. Don't you? It's the same with newspapers, that kind of thing. You always get the kind of alarmist situation. Yes, it's a worry. Yes, we've got some of our, I say more well-known, I guess, bigger, potentially. Yeah, okay, just drive into the huge green lorry. Did you not notice it? Yeah, some of our sort of larger modders over the last while, well, quite a while actually, probably start with Bullet Bill, I guess, a while back. And it's something that someone mentioned when we talked about the transition over, when I did that video about the 3 different iterations of the game that I've played on, what will come next. And someone mentioned that Giants may be reluctant, because it seems to be there's a huge outpouring on the forums of people suggesting that the next iteration of the game should be for PS4 still and not PS5, which to me that's more worrying. That surely they want to make use of everything the new consoles, the next gen consoles have to offer, you would think. Now I get it, for a lot of people, you know, if I wasn't doing the channel, I would not be in a position, or wouldn't have been in a position to get a PS5. I can only do what I do because of you guys watching. You know, I can still put up videos, but as far as, you know, earning an income, this being my job, and a lot of the times anything I earn gets ploughed back into it, in so much as buying, you know, a new console, buying a new version of, you know, it's not a new version of the game, but you know what I mean, getting DLCs and all those kind of things. It all comes from that, you know. That was a bit worrying to me, that people would rather it was released on PS4. I would be surprised. But the point I was going to make was that Giants, someone suggested that Giants may be concerned because if they do then have to, you know, they will recode an entirely new game, you would like to think, with all new features and new things. You would also like to think that a lot of the scripting stuff that seems to be the bugbear of everyone's existence, things can't happen because of scripting. they did change a lot of that stuff when FS17 came out. That in the base game scripting, Giants had included a load of things that previously we couldn't do, which means they can do it. They can change the scripting of the base game so that certain things can be done. But then it does also mean that for modders and map makers, they then, with a new release of a game, have to then learn an entire new coding system. You know, it's all got to be all done from scratch again. And I think someone commented underneath that to say, but that's been the same with every iteration of the game, though. For PC more than console, but once we started getting mods on console, you know, it's been over 2 years since the last one. And like I've said before, I'm no map maker and I'm no modder. And speaking to the people that I do know that do it, I can only imagine how complicated a process that would be to have to relearn a whole new system. And it's often why you find when a new version of the game comes out, like we did when 17 came out, when 19 came out, it takes a while for mods to start popping up. You know, I think on 17 it was a good, I may be misremembering, was it a good 2 months before we got our first mod map? Some guys will start the modding process before the game comes out, especially if they're made aware of what specs are and various different things like that. But it's a difficult thing. I can totally understand where people are coming from. It must be quite daunting. So where it's going to go from here, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, well, I kind of went off a bit of a tangent in that some people were being a bit alarmist and people were saying, well, that's it, consoles are done. If that's the case, they either won't play the game anymore, they won't buy it anymore, they won't. I will refer back to the video I did on the 3 versions of the game. So far on FS19, over 130 maps and thousands of mods. Thousands. Now, this is no disrespect to any of the modders that are currently going through any potential difficulties or issues or whatever it might be, but there are still a lot of people out there modding. Now it may well be that those particular modders aren't modding stuff you want, and that the modders that are having issues at the moment are the modders and map makers that you want to see and that you're, you know, more comfortable with is probably the wrong word. But we do have a huge amount of content. It still surprises me when people message and say the game's rubbish, there's not enough variety. Okay. I had someone ask me the other day, or in the comments, it was just a comment left saying that why is the game European oriented? Why is it focused primarily on European maps and places? There aren't any, not there aren't any, but there are very few American maps. There are loads of American maps. There's tons of content out there. As far as that goes, that's not gauged by Giants. If map makers, I mean, the first initial maps were, but then that's because Giants is a European company. They, you know, but Ravenport wasn't a European map. That was an American map. Westbridge Hills wasn't when they brought that out. Sosnovka was Russian, I suppose. Yeah, he's European. Well, as far as modders go, modders, map makers will generally make stuff they're passionate about. They'll make maps of areas they know or areas that they want to see in the game. It might be that you've got a European map maker that particularly wants to see a big American map. So that's not necessarily, that's not a Giants issue with regard to that. That's, you know, if there are more European maps available in the mods hub, that's just because more map makers and modders have wanted to do European ones. It's not a slight on Americans or the country or anything like that. It's just statistically it is what it is. But there are still plenty available. It's not like there aren't any. Well, that's that done. Need to get it fertilised. I don't want to, you know, in everything, whenever I'm doing any of these videos, I'm not trying to annoy people. I'm not trying to cause controversy. I'm just kind of, I read the comments and I still maintain, and I read everything. Don't always respond to every single one. I don't always like every single one, but I do read them all. That is getting a lot more unwieldy. The comments section is out of control sometimes, and today being a case in point, I got this going. I got the harvesters going on field 12 to get a harvest done. One of my daughters was cooking in the kitchen. One of my other daughters was hoovering. I thought, okay, well, I can't start recording yet because there's household jobs being done. So I went through the comments. That took me 2.5 hours to go through the comments on the video on YouTube, to go through the comments on Facebook, to go through the comments on Twitter, direct messages, 2.5 hours. And sometimes, as in the last couple of days, because I wasn't feeling very well, I left it. And if I leave it 24 hours and don't go into my comments, it takes even longer to go through. And again, not a complaint, just explaining the situation. So I do read them all. And sometimes I get to a point, I think, you know what, some of these things need to be discussed. They're valid points and they're interesting points. And I read comments and think, oh, that's something I hadn't even thought about. That hadn't crossed my mind. That's a clever idea that, So, I just think sometimes these things need to be discussed. Right, that's that done. I'll disconnect that. We'll come back. I'll do all of the repairs and stuff at a later date. I'll clean them off, do the repairs, drop that off there. I now need to go and grab the tanker. I'll get the fertiliser spreader going so we can get that fertilised and that can be growing. And then we need to cover this bunker silo. Now I'm doing something I don't normally do. As you may have already noticed, I haven't done any cuts so far. I'm going to try, if I can, to do a straight through record. Because I don't normally do it. This just fits right. I know this is not a TLX, and that's a TLX tanker, but for the capacity, the scale, the size just seems to work. It's right. So let's go and. I don't think I've put this in the description. Actually, I've been trying to make sure I keep the mods in the description that I'm using that are external mods that aren't included on the map. Right. Do I need to open it? Yes, I did. 160,000 litres of milchen. Right, where am I taking it to? Where's the best price for milk? Oh, that's a good price. At the dairy, that would be a good place to go, wouldn't it? The dairy, 2,438. Oh, we're going to make a bit of money, aren't we? Mine's gone blank. Where's the dairy? Oh. Top left. We'll head up there. Actually, I'm going to have to cut because I'm going to go and set off the fertiliser spreader. Okay, so that's leaving a gap around the edge. You can see where it's not fertilising because that's the bit that was fertilised before, and what I've done is I've ended up seeding over the top of it. So you can also see that light line between the two. That's where the field originally was, so the field boundary ends, and that's where the excess is that I ploughed out as well. We'll get all that done. This is going to be a massive expanse of grass. I'm also incredibly keen to see just how much we end up with on the next big cut. And I think for that I may need to get another mower. I think that's probably just for the best. It would just make more sense to do that. Still on our first 250,000 litres in this fertiliser spreader. Down to the last 86, but of the 250,000 litres I first put in that, it just hasn't run out. It's absolutely, it's crazy and brilliant, and I love it. I think my daughter's leg just fell off in the kitchen. Isn't it always the way though? I've always found it that, isn't it strange that when you're trying to be quiet, if someone says, "Oh, can you keep noise down?" Or, "I'm doing this, I'm doing that," you go out your way to be quiet, and you always find that's the times when you make the most noise. When you knock something over or something happens, it's always the way. And I'm not having a go at her. I'm not. It's a fact. It's a Saturday. Everyone's at home. I'm the one that's, I'm recording when everyone's around. That's my choice to make. Oh, okay, that was weird. Why did that not want to... Am I too close to the road? Maybe. Let's try it from there. No, doesn't want to do it. Okay. Do it myself. I'm glad I did. And then once I get the strip going that way, I'll just leave it. And it'll be done in no time. We'll go and get a load of milk, salt. I know I keep promising the poplars. Someone suggested I did a massive cotton harvest. I could, I think, like I said before, I think one of the main priorities for me, if I missed a section there, let me just go down to this, click across. Soil composition. Oh yeah. When I did the fertilising before, I missed all that. Oh, I've lost my thread. Done it again. It'll come back to me. Maybe. I let the fertiliser spreader carry on, and I remembered what it was. I got sidetracked about. It was about doing cotton. And I think that I started off by saying the premise about this Let's Play initially was showing off all the extra stuff that came with it. Yeah, cotton technology. There's not anything. There's not a modded cotton harvester in this. I could do a massive cotton harvest and lease a load of cotton harvesters and do a big cotton harvest, but it was kind of more about, yeah, like I say, showing off all the extra stuff the map had to offer rather than the standard things we have in game. That's not to say I won't do a big cotton harvest. I might do, but I wanted to use all the cool stuff first. Let's go and get the milk delivered. This made such a big difference, turning the jake brake off. I don't mind it. Oh, I've left it open. Close all that down. Thank you very much. Let's head off to the dairy. We can get up a good old pace as well. Oh, can I turn that? Yep. Missing my silo on the way. That seems really out of place sat there now, but it just made life a lot easier. I mean, bearing in mind it's, what, 50 metres away from the other one. Probably is pointless having it there, actually. Let's give it a bit of a stamp on the whoosh pedal. Oh, I was going to put sunflowers in field 3, wasn't I? That was the other thing. I've taken the seeder back and I've done this. Yeah, sunflowers, that was the other thing. I want to put the lights on because I just think it looks great. Woo! Stay on the road, Mr. LizardP. Oh, it looks great. It looks great with all the running lights and stuff. Ah, yeah, it's quite relaxing. I'm feeling a little bit better today, I'll be honest. Still, I know, not 100% no. I can't quite put my finger on it. It's not the dreaded, you know, the pandemic thing. It's not that. Well, at least I hope it's not that. I haven't been anywhere. We're in lockdown. I can't say it would be, but I just feel really woolly-headed and I don't know, heavy-headed. And I know I'm at that age, taking a nana nap in the afternoon. It's not normally me, but I sat here on Thursday and it got to about, it must have been around the time mods were due to drop. I could not keep my eyes open. I sat here and I thought, I need to go and close my eyes. And I was out for the count. Just absolutely gone. And it's so unusual for me. But anyway, yeah, feeling a bit better now. Let's make some money. Well, more money anyway. Nearly 2,500 to 1,000 litres. That's good. I've got a load more to go and collect as well. So I suppose what I will do then is maybe the next couple of loads I'll do off screen, maybe. Just trying to think. I don't want to move ahead after, because all these jobs I wanted to get done. Actually, what we'll do is check on here again, because sometimes these roll over and update. No, still cultivating. There's not a fertilising one. Harvesting is barley. Now that's an interesting one. You know what? I'm going to do it. And I'll set that contract so it doesn't disappear. And I feel terrible because I've done it again. I read a comment. And I read it and went, oh, that's interesting. I'd never, you know, I would never have thought of that. It was regarding the collection of straw swaths, and I've been doing it using the loading wagon, but only if you kind of own the property around the periphery. So you can kind of get away with it if you can use the loading wagon on this map to go around and collect up the straw swaths. So not only do you get the crop, you get the straw off it as well, which is brilliant. This is mint. We're going to be back over $1 million. Oh, I haven't changed it back to dollars, have I? It's okay. And I'm going to have to go through the comments and find it. What I will do is, well, we'll see how we get on with getting the bunker silo done. If I get onto it today, like I said, I didn't want to leap ahead. 163 grand. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, didn't want to leap ahead and get on into poplars. Because again, I've got that situation where I bought a third harvester. I wanted to get some seeding done. I wanted to sell some milk. I wanted to compact the bunker silo. Then to throw poplars into that on top. The poplars need to be. They need to have their own. You know, they need to be centre stage on an episode. Only because of the build-up going up to them. Yeah. So, well, if I get onto it, I'll show you. I don't want to give the game away now, but if we get onto it, but it's another one of those kind of, wow, that's impressive. Interestingly though, I mean, it'll work very well on this map specifically because of the item I can use. Again, I'm being cryptic, sorry. But if it works on here, there's no reason at all why you couldn't do it on a regular map, although it would take a lot longer. A lot longer. But it's a proof of concept, I suppose, at the end of the day. Hopefully I'll get onto it. So I am going to, so rather than do that straight through, I'm going to cut now, and what I will do is I know I've already done the cut to go to that. I still carry on recording. What I will do is I'll cut now. I'll get the rest of this milk done and we'll get on to compacting the bunker silo. I'm hoping that's not going to take too long. 4 million to, well, I tied up the ends actually, 4,300,000 litres roughly, something like that. I was asked by Carl if I was intending to fill the other silo. I wasn't intending on it. It's not to say I won't, but it wasn't my intention. Open it up again. Click on that, and away we go. Second load of milk sold. Tanker's filling up again. 3 harvesters running on field 11. I've got enough money now. I'll probably, well, whether I'll do it now or the start of the next episode, I'm going to buy the 3 new headers so I'm not leasing them anymore. But this is what we've got. We've got the NMC D11 Super Dozer. Got the 3-point link attachment that comes with it. On the back of that, the high compaction Holler Estego that comes with this. Now, I don't even know if I'm going to get up onto the pile actually. Just thinking the angle of that. We'll try. I have got the telehandler with the large capacity bucket as well to hopefully. The lights on this bin absolutely crazy. Yeah, it kind of blocks out the light from everywhere else. Please get up on there. Go on. Get the angle just right. Go on, keep going. Yes, get in. This is absolutely nuts. It does look quite cool actually. I'll be totally honest with you. Let's unfold that. Now hopefully what I haven't done is pushed any out of the front too much. Now I tied up the front and the back to make sure everything's in here. We are currently sitting on 4,293,746. Yeah, so not far off 4,300,000. So compaction then. We're on 9 at the moment. Let's lower that. Ah. Tilt it. So we should be. That's interesting. So that's going to work or not? Maybe. Well, we'll see. I was expecting. See, I had the same thing when I was on Stone Valley. Everyone said, "Oh, you've got to use the dozer. It compacts so quickly." And this is the high compaction. Don't think that goes down any further, does it? Could just be maybe the combination of the two. It's not quite what I'd hoped. Yeah, I was expecting crazy compaction, like sort of 11, 12, 13, 14, but it's not. It's going to take me ages. Another, I know, like I say, I'm compacting 4,300,000 litres ish. So I get it. It's going to take a while, of course it will, but I really was convinced the combination of both these together would be somewhat better. Helper IC and F have completed their tasks. Have they already? Can I tilt that anymore? Can't, can I? Lower silage packer. Yes, I can. Right. Again, for those people that were shouting at the screen. No, the rain's starting. Go away. Come on, that's supposed to be okay. 7, that's better. I was going up like 1% in each pass, now I'm going up 3. Okay, that's 19. Yes, better. There we go. Now we are cooking on gas. This is one huge hunk of cold metal. We are doing a cold compress. That's what we're doing. We're doing a cold compress on the bunker silo. Luckily, once it's in the silo, rain does not affect it. I think it's only on seasons anyway, isn't it? But anyway, we're fine. That's so much better. Just had to switch to the right thing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Worth every penny. The argument can be made that to lease the dozer is about 70 grand. Hey, I took a hit on that. I did that for you guys. I did that so you could see this. And this is a big old silo to be compacting, which I love. But then if you're selling this sort of quantity of silage, you're going to make a load of money. So it will cover the cost of quick compaction. I know what I have done in the past, and someone suggested this, and I did it on Stone Valley. I don't know if I ever mentioned it on Stone Valley. I have what I normally do is use the telehandler, because I can put the telehandler on all-wheel steer, put it on full lock, and on fairly small bunker silos, I just go round and round and round and round in circles. You can't watch because it makes you feel so dizzy and so sick. But what I even did on Stone Valley, because I finished on that huge silage harvest and I had about 5 or 6 silage clamps. I had my telehandler. What have I even been with this? Did I do it with this? I'm trying to think. And I actually used an elastic band. Someone suggested using elastic band. So I put it on full lock. And I put an elastic band on the controller. Put cruise control on. And it just went round and round and round and round and round and round, and it did it. And I didn't have to really pay much attention to it, which is one way of doing it. Probably not the preferred method. This is a good combination. Yeah. That is compacting very quickly. But the rain started. I'm worried my harvesters have stopped. Bear with me. Just a moment. I need to go and check. I really need to go and check. It was because of the rain, that's why they stopped those first few drops. When it came up that all 3 workers had finished, they'd stopped working because of the rain. Oh well. Kind of everything, isn't it? So what this should also do, I could have got more in this silo, I think, because I do have a few holes and blemishes and stuff in the top, which would have taken a bit more. I probably could have gone a little bit further to the edge. That's helped much. But really, we're almost there. I mean, just trying to get something to squash it down a little bit. There we go. Again, that's just for my own peace of mind. 60% already. It's all going well. Yeah, so with the harvest, I hope this is just a shower. I hope this is not going to be one of those it rains for 15 hours straight kind of thing. Good combo. Just remember to lower everything, that's all. %, compacted. So what I need to do is lift that, fold it, go to that, lift that, tilt it right about the way. Hopefully we don't cause any overspill as we leave. Minute amount. And now there we should be right. Blanket the silo. Boom. Okay, that's that job done. It's getting dark really quick, that cloud and rain. Oh man. So that certainly did its job. Worth every penny. It looks a little bit like the sugarcane harvester like that, doesn't it? Turn the lights off. Actually, what we'll do, lower that down, stores energy. That will be collected by the company. Actually, turn it off, because that's going to need to go on a low loader, probably. Right, now, that leads me on to, potentially, I don't know if it's going to work, and I worked out who it was. It was another Carl. So another Carl had left a message saying about this particular thing. Now, my harvesters are stopped because of the rain. I need to take the fertiliser spreader back as well. But they have got, I've left swaths on the ground. And like I said, I've been using the loading wagon to do this. But Carl suggested I do this now. This could be a little bit like, was it Terry that suggested this before, but it only worked with seasons. I am concerned this will only work with seasons, so potentially this won't work. If it does work, phenomenal. So fingers crossed on this. I've got the high capacity bucket from EUREKA FARMS, 100,000 litres, and apparently if you go onto the field in a telehandler with a bucket, you can collect the swaths without any issue. Now it does suggest as well a trailer to load into, because obviously 100,000 litres you're going to get that fairly quickly. I mean, still 100,000 litres, and this is what I'm saying, if this does work on the regular game, you could do this with a regular bucket. We've got a couple of high dump buckets, high tip, couple that are 8,000 litre capacity on console, but then doing 8,000 litres at a time. But if you've got a trailer with you and it's free straw in essence, isn't it, for a harvest contract? So I don't know, fingers crossed, let's see if this works. It's worth a test. If it does work, thumbs up. Another neat little hack slash trick. Oh, I'm going to say it on this video as well. I'm going to say it on my next RASFET video, but I'm going to say it now. My transition video, if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. It's an absolute corker. That was not my idea. When I say that, I give all credit to that idea of how I did the transition over to Eustace Farmer. Eustace, if you watched it, if you're watching this, I don't know if you still do, if you did, thank you. That was not my idea. Eustace Farmer has changed his channel quite a lot recently, but his original videos were movies. I mean, they were so well made, so well edited. They had storylines and characters and voices, and wow, just amazing. It was I got it from him. That was not, you know, everyone said, oh, you know, MISSYB legend, that kind of thing, and I appreciate that. No, it's got to be seasons. It's not letting me pick it up. Anticlimax. Oh, this is unfortunately another one of those situations where I have problems with comments. No, that sounded wrong. I don't have problems with comments. What I mean is, sometimes people will ask my advice on something, and I know I've mentioned this before. The problem is we are in that situation with the game now, with so many different facets available, so many different mods, add-on straw harvest, precision farming, seasons, the base game, modded vehicles, modded maps, and people will message me and say, it might just say, oh, I can't get my loading wagon to pick up straw. Okay, it could be so many things causing that. A situation like this where a comment was left saying, what I do is, now unfortunately I need more information because in this situation it would appear that is because you've got you're either on PC and you've got a mod that allows you to do it, or it could be Seasons that's allowing you to do it. It's not letting me. I really was hoping it would. I can't imagine I'm doing something wrong. I've got the bucket, I'm going to pick up the straw, it's not letting me. Now the problem is I don't own any of the fields around this, so actually collecting any of the straw off this is going to be almost impossible. Not that, I mean, I've got plenty of straw, but I was really hoping that was going to work. I thought that would be absolutely phenomenal. So apologies for the build up. You, like I, were expecting this, game changing wow moment. That's going to be awesome. I really was hoping that would work, but unfortunately was not to be. Right, compacted's done. One last load of milk to take. When the rain stops, I'll get the harvesters going again. Oh, I know what we'll do then. I was going to save it for the next episode, or I would not save it. I'll get this back and we'll do it. I'll buy my new headers. We might as well, because we've got the money sitting there, so we'll do it now before I forget. I need to leave myself enough money that I can get the next factory, because when the poplars are ready I'm going to need the laminate boards factory. But I'm sure they're only about 300,000. I suppose I should just check. Again, that would be the easiest solution to the problem, wouldn't it? What I am going to do while I'm here and with this bucket, because I took 100 cows out of this barn, everything I had in there was for 500, so it's not letting me put silage back in. So what I've been doing is, rather than using my sweepers on this one, I've been collecting it up and then putting it into the other one, just for that very reason that it wouldn't let me. So I might as well clean these out while I'm here. Manure will be building up again as well. Yeah, there's quite a bit in there, so we'll do this while we're here. That'll do. Let's go down there. Excellent. Ugh, rain. I'm not actually even using that shed, that my big barn shelter. Oh, I've still got that actually. Not even using it. Right, so what we're going to do, go into our online store headers. Now I don't want to get the tool height control ones, those ones, because they won't work on a worker properly. I've got one of those. What I want is 3 of those. I'm going to get red so it doesn't confuse me with the one I've... The only reason I'm doing it that way around, it would have made sense to do it the other way around, because I've already bought the other one, so it just makes sense to do this. So let's go with 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. 3 new headers. I'll collect those once the harvest's done on the other field. Actually, I could do it now. Bring them off the field, swap them over. That way I'm not using leased ones. But what I will do is take my last 43,000 litres of milk, or at least until tomorrow, because as we go through the night they'll be producing more. Get a bit more money in the bank. Let's close that down. And with that, we have come to the end of another episode here on EUREKA Farms for GoHam Industries Research and Development. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.